So Much Water So Close to Home is a short story penned by the American writer Raymond Carver, first featured in his 1981 collection, What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. This narrative, examined within this guide, epitomizes the extreme minimalism characteristic of Carver's early career phase. 2 years later, he released a notably expanded version of the story in the collection Fires, adding 20 pages that delve deeper into the narrator's background and thoughts while intensifying the palpable tension between her and her husband, which becomes more explicit and even violent. Despite the disparities between the two versions, both embody Carver's dirty realist style, portraying ordinary, sometimes sordid events in an unsentimental manner. Narrated from the perspective of the wife, Claire, the story immediately sets the stage for conflict between her and her husband from the outset. "My husband eats with a good appetite, but I don't think he's really hungry." Claire's decision to answer a ringing telephone during their meal further exacerbates the tension, although the identity of the caller and the nature of the call remain undisclosed to the reader. Nonetheless, the husband's agitation is palpable, particularly as he cryptically references an unspecified event, vehemently asserting his innocence. Claire remains mostly silent, prompting her husband to gradually reveal clues about the incident, such as his statement, "She was dead. And I'm as sorry as anyone else. But she was dead." The dinner concludes abruptly as the husband abruptly leaves the table to read the newspaper outside, which Claire observes contains details about the incident. Her frustration is evident as she defiantly sweeps the dirty dishes onto the floor instead of washing them. Subsequently, Claire discloses the events of the previous Friday. Her husband, Stuart, and his friends stumbled upon the body of a deceased woman while on a fishing trip. After a brief debate, they opted to continue with their plans, leaving the body behind. They spent the next couple of days drinking, playing cards, and fishing, even going so far as to tie the body to a tree to prevent it from being carried away by the river. Eventually, they notified the authorities, with Stuart taking the lead in making the call. Upon returning home, Stuart's subsequent anger over phone calls regarding the body prompts him to disclose the incident to Claire, disrupting their relationship further. The scene shifts to the present as Claire tidies up the shattered dishes and suggests to Stuart that they go for a drive. They traverse through town in silence, with Stuart making a stop to purchase beer, before continuing until they arrive at a picnic spot near a creek. Claire observes the men fishing there and questions Stuart about why he feels the need to travel for fishing when ample opportunities exist near their home. Stuart, visibly agitated, rebuffs her inquiry, refusing to discuss the recent trip. Claire then brings up a past murder case involving a girl named Arlene Hubley from her hometown, recalling how the perpetrators disposed of the headless body in a nearby river. Stuart, still unwilling to engage, repeatedly accuses Claire of provoking him. The following morning, Claire pretends to be asleep as Stuart heads off to work. Discovering a note signed with love from him, she reads the newspaper, learning that the murdered girl's identity has been uncovered. Claire schedules an appointment at a salon and casually mentions the upcoming funeral to the technician. That evening, without explanation, she opts to sleep on the sofa. Minimal interaction occurs between Claire and Stuart during breakfast the next day. Once Stuart and their son, Dean, have departed, Claire leaves a note for Dean and drives to the funeral. Along the way, she grows increasingly anxious as she feels a pickup truck trailing her. Pulling over, Claire is approached by the driver, but she refuses to engage, feeling uncomfortable under his gaze. She eventually attends the funeral, where she learns from a fellow attendee that the murderer has been apprehended. Returning home, Claire finds Stuart drinking and panics momentarily over not knowing Dean's whereabouts. Stuart reassures her, and they engage in sexual activity, although Claire's mind seems elsewhere. She hastily suggests they finish before Dean returns, illustrating her distracted state amidst the unfolding events. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.